Welcome back to Fox Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain the movie Fists of Fury, released in the year 1972. The movie begins in a time period where parts of China are under the occupation of Japan. In the first scene, Chen, the main character of the movie, arrives at his former dojo school, Jingwu. As soon as he enters the school, he's shocked to find the head chef, Tian, mourning over the untimely death of his master, Hou Yuanqia. He then informs Chen that other members of the school have gone to Hou Yuanqia's funeral. Hearing this, Chen immediately rushes to the funeral spot, with Tian passing a suspicious look at him. Moments later, Chen arrives at the funeral spot and is devastated to see his beloved master getting buried. He lies over the coffin and starts crying. Soon, other students pick him up and take him aside. The scene then fast-forwards by 2 days, where Chen can be seen sitting in front of his master's photo and wondering about how he died. His fiancée, Yuan, approaches him with some food, but Chen refuses to have it. At the same time, Fan Junqia, the head of Jingwu School, along with 2 other senior students, arrives there and tells Chen that they're also sad about their master's death. But rejecting food is not a good decision. Chen asks about how his master died, and Fan replies that he died because of pneumonia. However, Chen doesn't believe it and keeps on saying that it's a lie. The next day, while the whole school is remembering their legendary teacher and paying their respects, the Japanese people from Hongkou district who follow Japanese dojo enter the room and interrupt the process. Wu Zhen, the translator of Japanese dojo Grandmaster Suzuki, steps forward and starts belittling Hou and his dojo techniques. Wu mentions that Chinese people have no knowledge of dojo and that they're weak. Following this, he also gifts a board containing some derogatory words written for Chinese people. When Fan asks him to leave, Wu mentions that he will only leave if any of them will be able to defeat his men. Hearing this, Chen gets enraged and tries attacking the Japanese people, but is stopped by Fan, who reminds him that their master didn't teach them to get into violence out of rage. Wu continues to instigate the fight by slapping his cheeks, but Chen manages to control himself. Finally, Wu and his men leave the school, but not before threatening the Chinese people to leave the city. In the following scene, Chen arrives at Hongkou Dojo alone with the same board that Wu gifted to Jingwu School the previous day. There, he notices Hongkou students practicing dojo and challenges them to a fight. Hearing this, Yoshida, the head instructor of Hongkou Dojo, laughs at him and sends one of his students to fight. To his surprise, Chen easily defeats the student, compelling Yoshida to send more students. Though the Hongkou students outnumber Chen, he effortlessly defeats each one of them with his electrifying and powerful dojo moves. After all the students are defeated, Yoshida himself steps forward to fight Chen, but surprisingly, he is beaten too. Eventually, Chen tears the paper containing insulting words to his master and makes the Hongkou students chew it. As Chen leaves the place, a frightened Wu watches from nearby. Shortly after, Wu and Yoshida can be seen discussing with Suzuki how Chen fought and defeated all of their students alone. Hearing this, Suzuki becomes enraged and orders Yoshida and his men to visit Jingwu School and destroy it completely. In the next scene, Chen attempts to enter a park but is stopped by a Sikh guard standing at the entrance. He shows Chen a notice board that forbids dogs and Chinese people from entering the park. At the same time, a woman is allowed to enter the park with her pet dog, but Chen is refused. While Chen is discussing with the guard, a few Japanese men arrive there and one of them belittles Chen and asks him to behave like a dog if he wants to enter the park. With this humiliation, Chen gets enraged and attacks the Japanese men and also breaks the notice board. Seeing this, the guard blows the whistle to call for backup, but the bystanders who witness the commotion save Chen and help him escape. The scene then shifts to Jingwu School, where Yoshida and Wu, along with their men, enter the school and immediately start attacking the students practicing there. Though Fan tries to stop them, the bad guys ignore him and continue trashing the place. As Yoshida takes out Hou's photo to destroy it, Shu, the third eldest student of Jingwu, snatches it from him and saves it from getting destroyed. After the commotion, Wu, backed by the Japanese students, warns Fan and Jingwu School to hand over Chen to them within 3 days. Moments after Yoshida and Wu leave with their men, Chen arrives there and is taken aback to see the carnage around the school. After knowing that Chen is the one responsible for the situation, Fan yells at him and suggests he leave Shanghai before Suzuki's men kill him. At first, Chen refuses to leave, but when Yuan and Fan approach him and make it clear that they do not blame him for what happened, he agrees. Later at night, Yuan approaches a distraught Chen and asks him to take some rest before leaving the next day. Chen, however, expresses his love for Yuan and then suggests she go to sleep as she has some important work to finish. Without saying anything, Yuan leaves Chen alone and goes to sleep. Soon, Chen hears a noise coming from the other side of the building and decides to follow it. To his surprise, he finds Tian and Feng Guishi, the caretaker of the Jingwu School, discussing how Tian killed Ho by poisoning his food. As soon as Chen hears this, he gets enraged and confronts the duo. In no time, a brutal fight erupts, which ends with Chen killing both the villains with his powerful punches. The next morning, Fan finds a letter from Chen beside his bed, which mentions that he will go after the men behind Ho's murder and take revenge. Soon, Fan is called downstairs where the students inform him that Tian and Feng have been found dead, and their bodies are hanging on the nearby lamppost. Realizing that Chen killed the duo, he assumes Chen is still in Shanghai and asks his students to search for him. In the next scene, Chen is sitting beside Ho's grave and having some grilled meat. At the same time, Yuan arrives there and confronts him, asking him to reveal his motives and further plans. Chen, however, refuses to tell anything and mentions that he does not want to involve her in all this. After this, Chen and Yuan share a beautiful moment where they remember their childhood life and promise to spend the rest of their lives together. The next day, Wu and Yoshida visit Suzuki and inform him about the deaths of Tian and Feng. Here, it's revealed that Tian and Feng were actually their men who were pretending to be Chinese and leaking Jingwu's critical information. Enraged, Suzuki expresses his plans to attack the Jingwu School again. But Wu suggests they instead inform the police and let them handle the situation. Following this, a local police officer, Inspector Lo, approaches Jingwu School and gives Fan and the others an ultimatum of 3 days to find and hand over Chen to them. He also mentions that if they fail to do so, they will not only lose the school, but also be taken into custody for assisting Chen. At night, Wu can be seen enjoying his time with Suzuki, Yoshida, and Petrov, Suzuki's friend from Russia. After having a drink challenge with Petrov, Wu leaves the place. When he exits the building and approaches a cart-pulling man for a ride, the man is revealed to be Chen. But as Wu is drunk out of his mind, he fails to recognize Chen and gets on the cart. Soon, Chen brings him to a lonely street and beats him to death after the latter reveals that Suzuki is the one who devised the plan to kill Ho. Chen then hangs Wu's body from the same lamppost where he hanged Tian and Feng. The news of Wu's death reaches Suzuki, and he threatens Inspector Lo to take action against Chen and Jingwu School. He also mentions that if Lo fails to do anything, he will talk to the upper-class officers and throw Lo out of his position. After Lo leaves, Yoshida approaches Suzuki and suggests they attack Jingwu and finish all the students present there. Suzuki agrees to it and immediately sends his men to Jingwu School. In the next scene, Lo arrives at Jingwu School and suggests Fan hand over Chen to them, or else they'll have to face a lot of trouble. However, Fan replies that they don't know about Chen, but are doing their best to find him. Hearing this, Lo gives them one final day to track Chen. Meanwhile, Yuan is standing on the stairs and analyzing the whole situation. Realizing that the situation has gotten worse, she calls Fan and tells him that she knows about Chen's location. Later at night, Fen, Yuan, and some of Jingwu's other students can be seen around Ho's grave, searching for Chen and waiting for him to arrive there. At the same time, Chen enters Hongkou School and starts fighting with the few men present there. He defeats them and moves forward to fight Yoshida. Yoshida fights him with a sword, But to his surprise, Chen takes out his nunchuck and damages his sword. He then uses the damaged sword to stab and eventually kill Yoshida. Following this, he proceeds towards Suzuki's office, where he's confronted by Petrov. Chen fights with Petrov for a while and ultimately kills him with a fist punch right on his neck. At last, Chen finds Suzuki and kills him with a powerful kick to the head. On the other hand, when Fan and his group return to Jingwu School, they find all the students either killed or severely injured. There, Shu informs Fan that Suzuki's men attacked them and obliterated the place. Moments later, Inspector Lo arrives at the school and asks Fan about Chen. Fan again tells Lo that he has no information about Chen. Hearing this, Lo mentions that he's bound to follow Japanese laws and arrest them. Meanwhile, Chen enters the building through a window and gets devastated to see most of the students dead on the floor. When he hears Lo announcing to arrest Fan and other students, he comes forward and reveals himself. He then talks with Lo, and the latter assures him that he will take care of Jingwu School if Chen surrenders. Satisfied with his answer, Chen agrees to surrender himself and walks out of the school. In the last scene, when Chen walks out of Jingwu School, he notices a group of Japanese soldiers at the gate, pointing guns at him. Seeing this, Chen gets enraged and pushes forward to fight with them. The scene freezes here, with few gunshots in the background, implying Chen's death and his sacrifice to save his master's legacy and Jingwu School. That was all from the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this and hit the like button to help us out. Also, leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time, take care.